We lost you.
Oh, it keeps cutting out right when I'm doing the dad joke.
Yeah, well, maybe that's a sign.
Hi, Casselberrians. It is now time to have a casual conversation for the beneficial good of our community. The show you are about to listen to is called What's Up, Casselberry? And now it is my absolute pleasure to introduce to you your hosts, Andy and Drew.
Oh, and don't forget that lovely producer, Robin.
What's up, podcast listeners? Welcome back to the What's Up, Casselberry podcast. It's Andy and Drew. We are here. We're excited to talk to you about all things Casselberry. We are local pastors, friends, and Casselberry residents who love to have conversations with guests about those who are for the good of our city of Casselberry. And we are back with part 2 in just a couple of minutes of our conversation with former PTSA president of Casselberry Elementary School, Lindsay Feist, as well as current PTSA president of Casselberry Elementary School, Jen Hughes. Andy, as of this recording, my friend, 4th of July will have just come and gone. Tell us about your thoughts on the holiday. How has it impacted you? Do you have any favorite fun family traditions? I know you're not originally from this country, so speak into it.
Well, Drew, yeah, it's very strange being a British person at an American party that kind of feels like I'm crashing the party, but at the same time, I'm crashing a party that is happening because the people that I was a part of lost. So It's very confusing.
That is, certainly. And you know what is confusing to me too in the 21st century, in the day when we live in, the duality of Americans, where on one hand, we totally celebrate independence and rah, we overthrew the British colonial power of the day and claimed our freedom and, you know, all the America and freedom and that kind of stuff. But then on the other hand, we go to great painstaking effort to keep account and keep up on the news of all of the royal weddings. We watch a ton of British television. We have such a appreciation and infatuation with the royal family. And so it's just interesting how those two seemingly polar opposites kind of come and gel with being an American.
Yeah, it's been very interesting with the latest royal baby, Meghan and Harry's baby. I forget, Lilibeth, I believe her name is, being born as an American now. So there's lots of kind of memes and jokes coming out of England that this is our plan to kind of take back America, that she will grow up to one day become president, then she will direct the country to become citizens of Britain again. Now, Drew, just to be honest, there are some days when I think that may not be such a bad idea, but no, I love the celebration. I celebrated it. I embraced it. I'm grateful now to be an American, and I'm grateful for the freedom that we have that is way bigger and way greater than the struggles of the past.
Absolutely. Well, we are more than appreciative of all those who come into our country and who just add great value to what makes America such a great place. The freedom, as you mentioned.
Now, Drew, am I right in recalling that this is like your wife Becky's favorite holiday? Like Christmas, her birthday, they all come secondary to this.
It 100% is. I am not kidding, listener, in the fact that we have a 4th of July USA closet. That's right. An entire closet of our home that is dedicated to all things red, white, and blue. She will change outfits multiple times during the day. It is a very, very big deal. Our son now has American flag bathing suit, and he's wearing a hat the other day with American flag on it. Yes, America runs deep in the veins and in the hearts of the Taylor household.
Well, now I believe that's because she's got a brother who serves in the military, right?
That's correct. That's one of the reasons. Yep.
And we would be remiss, again, at every opportunity, not to say thank you for those, even today, who are on the front lines of conflict and conflict prevention and are working hard at great cost and great sacrifice to protect the freedoms that we have.
Wholeheartedly agree with that sentiment. And we are so thankful for all who serve and seek to continue the freedoms that we enjoy here in America. And in fact, Andy, I think that is a perfect transition for our 4th of July themed dad joke of the week.
I see. I wondered how you were going to make that transition, but you've got to. Okay, I see.
I see what you Andy, you've just got to grin and bear this. This is an American themed, a freedom themed joke. Here it is. Andy, why are there no knock knock jokes about America?
True.
Why are there no knock knock jokes?
That is a great question. And I have no idea why there are no knock knock jokes about America. Why is that, Drew?
Because freedom rings.
Now, Drew, does freedom ring or does it like a new version, with the video camera doorbells, right? Does
it chime? Maybe more of a chime.
Yeah. Or does it just stand at your camera and wave at you? I don't know.
I don't either.
I'll leave the jokes to you.
Well, listener, we have, of course, been talking about the 4th of July. We've been which we reflect back on the history of how our country was founded. And for our Casselberry in the News segment, we have an exciting report that right here in our very own Casselberry, there is a new organization, a not-for-profit organization called the Society for Historic Casselberry. The Society for Historic Casselberry. This group, founded this year in January of 2021, has come together, and their mission from their site says that they exist to help preserve and protect the historical and cultural resources of the city of Casselberry and to help educate the public about the history of our city and its connection within the larger historical narratives of Seminole County, Central Florida, the state of Florida, and the USA. And some of the folks that are on this original board for the Society for Historic Casselberry include our very own City Commissioner, Anthony Aramandia, and former commissioners Bill and Colleen Hufford. They serve on the board of directors, and the president of this board is Dr. Deborah Bauer. Andy, this is really exciting. What a cool idea to come together and preserve some of the history of our city.
Yeah, I love it. I'm very excited about this. I just found out about it the other day when a friend who will be very involved texted me and said, "Hey, did you know this was happening?" And I'm like, "No, but I want to know about it." And a few reasons why. One, I think Casselberry has a fascinating history. Hasn't been the smoothest ride to build our community. I think it's important that we learn that. And I also think it's important that we learn that because this is our foundation, right? And there are some good things that happen that we need to take with us as we move forward as a community. But also there are some things to learn from mistakes that were made and things to guard against and watch out for and correct as we move forward. Just looking, as you said, at the board of directors, I think there's some folks there with a lot of Casselberry history themselves. And I can't wait to see what they find and read it and learn. And Dr. Deborah Bauer actually has quite a history in the city as well. She's very involved in the movement to save the golf course at Deer Run. And her mother and her brother were both on our school board in Seminole County for a long time as well. So as well as been a blessing to our community, I'm sure that this is going to be a personal journey for Dr. Bauer as well. So yeah, I can't wait. I'm not sure what it looks like to get involved, but this seems like it will be a fascinating project. Maybe there's some of our listeners who say, "Hey, I'd love to know more and I can help out and put some pieces together." And if so, let us know and we'll put you in touch. There's a website as well, Drew.
Absolutely. There is. The society says they're going to be promoting and leading some historical projects. Don't know exactly what those are yet. They're keeping them very close to the vest, but excited to see what those projects are in terms of celebrating the history of Casselberry. They have a Facebook page, which you can just search under Facebook, Society for Historic Casselberry. And then their website is www.historiccasselberry.com. historiccasselberry.com.
Now, Drew, I'm wondering whether we should give them like an audio file of our very first episode to go in the kind of Casselberry history archives.
Oh, there we go. The vault, as it were. Someday, 50 years from now, what is a podcast?
There'll be Casselberry's version of the Smithsonian, right? Called the Casselberryan or something, right? A museum of all things Casselberry. And there'll be, kids go in on school field trips and press a button and they hear our very first episode.
Ooh, I've got it. Could we have a dad joke sketched in stone like the cavemen?
Hey, Drew, if someone did carve one of your dad jokes in stone, that would really rock.
There it is. Dr. Bauer, check us out. We've got
the ball is in your court, ma'am.
Oh, that's great. Wow. Willow Creek Church exists to glorify God by declaring with our words and demonstrating with our hands the power of the gospel of Jesus Christ. We invite you to come discover and deepen your relationship with Jesus. We believe you were created for more. Located between the communities of Casselberry and Winter Springs, Willow Creek Church is a warm, welcoming place that meets each and every Sunday at 10 a.m. for worship, as well as various Bible studies, small groups, social events, service outreach, and much more throughout the week. Check us out at willowcreekchurch.org or on Facebook at Willow Creek PCA. You are loved. Don't forget it. Listener, welcome back. We are so glad to be joined again this week by Lindsay Feist and Jen Hughes, the former and now incoming presidents of PTSA at Casselberry Elementary School. Lindsay and Jen, so glad to have you back. Let's just jump right in. Lindsay, when you started on the PTSA, I think you said 6 years ago, what did you hope that someone might have told you as you look back, reflect back on these years? What is something that you wish that someone had told you about the position you were stepping into?
I think the presidents and team members that came before me did a good job of preparing anyone as well as you can. I don't think anyone ever feels fully prepared to take on the lead role, especially in PTAs. It happens quick. I think I went from, hey, I can help. What do you guys need? To you're our secretary now. Congratulations. And then from that to vice president to president, all in a very short period of time. So it does happen fast, but elementary happens fast. You are only there for 6 years. So you'll never feel ready. But that being said, just because things have been done one way in the past, or that's what we've always done, you're going to, encounter some of that within the group or within the school body and parents. Well, we've always done it this way. It doesn't always have to stay that way. You keep what works and you evolve and you keep bringing new things to the table. Trunk or treat, for example, we had never done a trunk or treat. That was brand new. One of our board members said, hey, why don't we do this? And, while new is a little scary because you don't have a blueprint for how to make it happen, it often turns out to be way better and bigger than you could have imagined. So don't be afraid to try new things and don't feel like you have to stick with something just because that's how the person before you did it.
I love this advice, Drew, that we're kind of listening into. You know what it reminds me of? When we get a new president of the nation, right? Not of the PTSA. It is tradition that the exiting president leaves a note on the desk in the Oval Office for the new president. And Lindsay, that kind of sounds like what you've just done there. That's your letter to Jen. So Jen, you're about to sit behind this big desk in this big office and you hear Lindsay's words of encouragement. What are you most excited about as you begin to lead and take the mantle and the role?
I'm not going to lie, it does go fast. I went from I'll help a little to this. So I just wanted to help a little, but I'm so excited to do it. And I'm not letting her get too far away from my desk. I'm hoping that we can get back some of those traditional events that we weren't really able to step back into this year that I know helped make Casselberry one of the most unique schools that we have. We're kind of gathering together to find some new ideas to spice it up, find a way to do something exciting for these new upcoming kindergartners we have coming in. I'm just excited to get in there and see what we can do to make this just super amazing and fun this year. And so we can just put all the past behind us and just look forward to everything that's coming up ahead of us and try and make it as fun as we can for all these kids.
I think you have a unique perspective, Jen, in that the fact that you are a teacher, have taught several places, but most recently at Willow Creek Preschool, where I serve as a pastor. Is there thoughts from kind of representing the teacher side that you can kind of speak into on behalf of the PTSA?
I think I have actually, even just this year, stepped in and I never actually leave my teaching shoes, my poor children, when they get home from school, right? But I think I know exactly what they're doing in the classroom. And it's kind of a great way to bridge the gap between the home and the teachers, because I do have both perspectives. I have to be mom, but I never stop being teacher too. So I loved that Lindsay had all those grants and was really pushing teachers to do those grants. That's something I absolutely want to be able to continue this year. So if your listeners want to help in any way. you contact us.
Well, you bet. I bet there are some folks, I hope there's some folks who hear that. And let me just say it loudly and clearly in case no one did. If you want to help at the PTSA, whether that's time, sponsorship, money, you let us know and we'll put you in touch with Jen. I know Lindsay this year has done a fantastic job of fundraising and kind of hit some pretty unprecedented heights, but we'd like to beat that this year. So listeners, if you can help, please do. Let me ask a more personal question, if I can. Both of you, very busy ladies, lots going on in life, work, families, yet you still manage to give literally hundreds of hours to help our school and help others. What is it that motivates you to do that?
I think for me, being a Casselberry alumni, it's just that sense of pride in your school and where you went and wanting to see them do well and see them succeed. You know, being able to help facilitate connecting families within the community, watching our kids go from, you know, kindergartners into fifth graders and becoming citizens within our community that have big ambitions and opinions and getting them ready for middle school. I think for me, that's the big motivating factor, is just being able to see that growth and that sense of pride in our school and our community.
You're standing on the shoulders of some folks who did that for you, and there's a responsibility. Jen, how would you answer that question? What's your motivation?
I have to say that, I don't know, I'm not currently in a classroom, but like this, being able to do something that engages family and is still part of education kind of was my motivator. Even though I'm working at the Willow Creek preschool now, I intend to go back to an elementary classroom eventually. And this was just a piece where I could still be part of the community and part of school all at the same time without having to go fully back into it yet. So I just wanted to be part of what, you know, one day my son will think like Lindsay thinks. Great, look at all this awesome things done at Casselberry. My mom helped me be part of that.
Just love that. The legacy piece is really a key component of this, thinking about the long term, not just the year to year. Well, since Andy asked a personal question, ladies, I have a personal question for you. Lindsay, you and I have joked off air about the fact that my son Becky and I's son will be going into kindergarten when your youngest is going into fifth grade. And I just need to ask which one of you, and I'm okay with either, is going to have another child so that you can stay in the PTSA when Becky and I get there. Either one's okay.
I will do you one better, and I will make a promise to you right now to spend the next 6 years in PTSA building more leaders that we feel comfortable handing the baton off to when that time comes.
That was a brilliant answer, Lindsay.
That was a presidential answer.
Drew, that serves you right. That was a question you should not ask. And Lindsay, you should run for office because you can handle it.
And also, I have 3 children already, Jen. So
I have a puppy.
I also have a dog.
Children. It's
And
the same thing.
And a husband. So.
But you know what, Drew? We'll just make sure that Becky is ready to go.
That's it. We're ready.
She'll be ready to step right in.
That's a great answer too.
Yeah. In fact, Drew, maybe Becky needs to sign up for the PTSA this year and start learning now. And when we ask that of her, we'll tell her it was your idea.
She's already been kind of a help. She supported our banners.
Yeah. Becky's been wonderful. And if he starts VPK, we'll have 1 year where we'll all still be there. Jen will be there a little beyond me, but if she joins and gets on board when he's in VPK, you'll be good to go.
All right. Let me ask a question that you don't have to answer politically or carefully. We were talking earlier on the show about how the school just physically looks so different because of the new building that they've built. They've done some major construction. It looks unrecognizable to how it did a year or so ago. What do you guys know about that project and the benefits that it's going to bring to the students and teachers and community?
I mean, the only thing that we've seen so far of it really is what's been going up on the outside. So far, the outside looks beautiful. And I know the inside is going to have some really unique learning spaces that our teachers and students are really going to be able to enjoy. But now the outside of the building, I believe, totally matches the quality of teachers that we had inside our old building. We have some really amazing teachers who go way above and beyond. And just now their level of teaching and quality of leadership and that goes into this school is just going to kind of match the building. The building's going to match them more so.
I love it. That's a fantastic answer. Lindsay, do you want to add anything?
I was just those classrooms are the same classrooms that I sat in 30 plus years ago. So you just think about the advancements in technology over the past 30 years. I mean, we did not have laptops when I went there. The amount of...
Well, we had laps and we had tops, but we didn't have laptops.
Yeah. So, I mean, you just think like aesthetically, it's going to be more pleasing, but also, I mean, the amount of STEM and tech that's going to be added into this new building and facility for these kids I'm very excited about that, to bring it up to the 21st century standards. I mean, we've done a great job so far of retrofitting everything in there, but now it's going to be, just top of the line, state of the art. Very excited. They really seem to have spared no expenses and planned out. I mean, bless Mallory's heart for the work that she's had to put in on coordinating all of this, because I think a lot of people don't realize maybe that your principal is also your project manager on site. So, I mean, she spent a lot of time this past year critiquing every piece of that instruction plan and really making it top notch for our kids. So, yeah,
which makes so much sense and she is literally the perfect person for that role. Having a child in the preschool, being in education for many, many years. I'm just so thankful for our leadership up and down the school. Ladies, when you think about the theme for the coming year, the theme came out for our school, which says, "Let new adventures begin." What are you excited about regarding that theme? And what are you just kind of anticipating for the school year that's ahead? Jen, what are you excited about? What are you looking forward to for the new school year ahead, besides being president?
Yes, that is a new adventure in itself. I'm not really sure exactly what I'm looking forward to. It seems odd that what I'm looking forward to is a little bit back to what our normal was before, and a little bit of back to the simplicity of just the normal ins and outs of going to school and interactions that they're going to have at school. But new adventure, it would be this whole new building and just our next step forward into whatever this next year is going to bring us.
I second that. And I love that the staff creates and votes on their theme each year. So they have some personal attachment to it, and it's not just told to them. It's a collaborative process there on campus where they, pick the theme for the year. And I think it's very fitting. They're scheduled to move into the new building. I believe November is the date that they're trying to hit to be in that new building. So that will obviously be new. And then also melding everything that we've learned over this past year with what worked on Google Classroom and what worked on Zoom, and then being able to get back to some of that face-to-face interaction as well. And like I said before, just keeping what worked and creating new things for things that didn't.
That's great. It has been an adventure and a new one is beginning. We've got to wrap up in just a moment, but one final thought from both of you, if I can. For a lot of parents, this will be a new adventure as well, because maybe they'll be sending their student to school for the first time, either because of COVID or because their child has just reached that age. And Jen, you've experienced this recently. Lindsay, not too far ago for you. Drew, you got it to come. I had it many, many years ago, but that first day at school is tough for parents. We had the Boohoo breakfast, and I appreciated those. And my youngest is going into high school this year. I'm disappointed that they don't have Boohoo breakfasts at high school because I would be there. But what advice would you ladies give to moms and dads who are going to be sending their kids to Casselberry Elementary for the first time this year?
So I would say, and I feel like I tell this to parents too, ask your kids questions about their day. They're going to tell you they learned nothing or they didn't do anything. We all know it's not true because they're learning so much and doing so much. So just always ask them open-ended questions and just take the time to hear about their day because it is the biggest part of what they did. So just sit down and listen and give them those couple of moments to share one or two things. Just remember to always ask them an open-ended question because otherwise you're just going to kind of guess it and no. And also just to always reach out to those teachers and administrators. We have such a welcoming staff at Casselberry Elementary that any problem that arises, they are going to find a way to answer you and come around and be helpful. They're there for the families and the parents. I mean, we have that awesome Leader in Me program at Casselberry, and I've always seen from everything that I've experienced this year that there's always a way to find a win-win solution to every problem. So you just have to have that open communication with your teachers and the administration, because they don't get any better than the ones we have.
That's great advice, not just for new parents, but I'm taking notes on that as well, Jen. Thank you. That's great. Lindsay, what advice would you give to new parents who are dropping their kids off at Casselberry for the first time this August?
Do you know how I know that Jen is ready to be president?
Is it answers like that?
Because I took notes before this meeting, and you know what I wrote down was Stephen Covey and the 7 Habits, and think win-win, and don't be afraid to speak up for the things that you'd like to see or that you're with your child's education, because their teacher is your partner in their education, and you guys are on the same team. And miscommunications happen and things happen at school that maybe when told by a 5-year-old, you go, huh? But at the end of the day, everyone on that campus wants to be your partner in your child's education, and they want to see them succeed and do well. And so that's what I would say is get involved, and don't be afraid to speak up and be a part of that team for your child's education.
I love it. Those are both great answers. As we wrap up, Jen, if people want to know more about the PTSA, how to get involved, how to support, maybe there's a business locally that wants to sponsor, what's the way that they can get in touch with you and your team and the PTSA?
Well, yeah, I'd have them everyone join that Casselberry Elementary's Facebook page, our Casselberry Elementary PTSA Facebook page. We also have Instagram, but you can email us and also sign up as a dividend if you go through the SC Seminole County school page and go to community involvement, sign up as a dividend so that you can, make yourself available to help in any way that you can. But you can reach us by email, even the Facebook Messenger. We'd love to have any support. We still actually have positions that need filling on our board. So we welcome any parents out there who want to get involved, or our grandparents. You guys are important too.
You bet they are. Well, thank you so much, friends. If you're interested in getting involved, jump on the Facebook page, Casselberry PTSA, and that's like a hub for everything you need to know. Lindsay, thank you for your leadership over the years. Jen, we are excited about the leadership that you will bring and look forward to supporting both of you as you continue to help serve our children and as you help build our community. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Lindsay Feist and Jen Hughes, so much for your time. We've enjoyed our 2-part conversation with you, and we can definitely see that our school is in very good hands. Andy, would you close out our episode with an inspirational moment?
You bet, Drew. Honestly, the commitment of those ladies is inspiring to me. Whenever I see someone give of their time and their energy and their effort to our community, that should inspire all of us, and it does. So thank you, ladies. But building on the Independence Day theme from earlier, let me read this quote from Peter Marshall. He says this: "May we think of freedom not as the right to do as we please, but as the opportunity to do what is right. May we think of freedom not as the right to do as we please, but as the opportunity to do what is right." I love this, and I find this very challenging as well. Often when I'm starting a project, or I'm in the middle of a project, or at the end of a project, and something hasn't worked out and there's a little bit of pushback, I'm like, hey, I can do what I want. This is a free society. That's not what freedom is about. Freedom is about me saying, I have this opportunity to build something significant, to make a difference, to give back, to do what is right. And so, Drew, I know you're with me on this, but our commitment to each other, to our faith, to our community, to those that we love, is not to use our freedom for selfish reasons, but to use our freedoms to do what is right, to add value to people, to organizations, to circumstances, and of course, our community here in Casselberry. So once more from Peter Marshall, may all of us see freedom not as a right to do as we please, but as the opportunity to do what is right.
Absolutely. Well said. We hope everyone had a great Independence Day, and we are so thankful for you joining us for today's episode of the What's Up Casselberry podcast, a casual conversation about our community. This podcast has been produced by Robin Kepi, also known as Producer Robin, also known as Beyonce. For more information, please check out our website, Facebook page, Instagram, or podcast feed, all with the name What's Up Casselberry. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed our podcast, and give us a rating and review. Until next time, have a great week.
Drew, I think our ratings are going to keep going down if we keep mentioning Robin is Beyonce. I still don't get that. Take care, listeners.